Hey, how's it going, everyone? Hope everyone's staying safe as always, saying on my videos. Um, Today I do plan on reviewing the divisional round of the NFL playoffs. Now, I would have made a prediction, which I normally do, but unfortunately, I had some technical issues with my old phone, so I had to go buy a new phone, which I am now recording on now. We'll see how the volume works on this. If it's any better, I sure hope so. Um, so my predictions would have been if I had gone with the Packers and the Rams, I would have said Green Bay. Between the Saints and the Buccaneers, I would have predicted the Saints since they've already beat them twice this postseason. Sorry, twice this season. Between the Chiefs and the Browns, I would have predicted that the Chiefs would have won. And between the Bills and the Ravens, I would have thought that if Lamar Jackson stayed healthy and had a good running game, that they would have upset the Bills or beaten the Bills, depending on who had the odds of for the Vegas. But I don't really pay attention to that stuff. So those would have been my picks had I put them in. So we'll go over the games and how I did on my picks. Clearly, I am not going to be going 4-0. So the first game was between the Packers and the Rams. And as I predicted, if Aaron Rodgers can find Adams, if the two of them can click like they have been all season, they are unstoppable. And there's a reason why they have won that matchup and they're heading and hosting the championship game. So big props for uh, Green Bay for getting there. And for the Rams, you got to think this is another season that obviously fell short of your goal. You'd love to get back to the Super Bowl because they would love nothing more than to redeem themselves after losing to the Patriots back 2 years ago or 3 years ago. 2 years ago, I guess. So they'll obviously they have a lot of time to think in the off season. Hopefully, have a good training camp because obviously due to pandemics and COVID, that really held things back for the NFL. So and obviously no exhibition games really kind of screwed them a lot of teams up. But that's neither here nor there. So, but a good run for the Rams. I mean, you guys went to the second round. When a lot of people, including myself, thought the Seahawks would have beaten you guys last week. So that's why you have. That's why you don't listen to the media. Anyway, so Packers are moving on. Congratulations to them, and we'll and then sorry, so that was the first game on Saturday. The second game had the Bills hosting the Ravens. Now, this was a game that I obviously, like I said, I predicted if I could stop getting or jumping over my words. This was a game that I would have predicted that the Ravens would have won, as I said previously. But Lamar Jackson, obviously, he got hurt and he really couldn't get anything going throughout most of the game. That's why the Bills ended up winning. I believe it was 17-3 or 17-6. It was a very defensive battle, that's for sure. And then obviously once the Ravens lost Jackson, that was pretty much game over. So hopefully he can make a good speedy recovery. I did read that the Bills donated to one of his charities, so good on you guys. Good on you, Bills Mafia, for that. Just goes to show that there are some decent people still in this world. Doesn't matter if it's an opposing team or whatever the case may be. Is a donation does a lot of good to a lot of people. So the Bills are off to the AFC Championship, and obviously they'll be excited for that. This has been quite the season for them, as I've said that they've been trapped basically in the AFC for the past AFC East at least for the past X amount of years since Brady was there with New England. But now that Brady's left, it seems that they want to take over the role as the new Patriots. So we'll see how far they go. This Sunday afternoon was the game just right above it between the Kansas City Chiefs and Baker Mayfield and the Cleveland Browns. An interesting matchup. No one would have predicted that either of these teams would have got, or that the Browns at least wouldn't have gotten here. The Chiefs, obviously, they have an incredible team, obviously. But then Mahomes got hurt. Their backup was playing in Henny, and he just squeezed out a win. The Browns did make a bit of a game of it, had a almost late comeback, but obviously fell short. So a very defensive battle when I thought it was for sure going to be a shootout. But once Mahomes got hurt, I was like, well, I guess Kansas City is human after all. But they did pull out the win in the end and are off to their third straight AFC Championship game. Ironically, they've hosted the past three AFC Championship games. So will this third one go their way or not? Only time will tell. And the final game, by far the most anticipated game of the weekend between Drew Brees and Tom Brady. Who would have guessed that these two would finally meet in the postseason? It would just take a shift of one player leaving one conference to go to the other, basically in the same division, in order for you guys to be guaranteed to go up against each other because obviously they've never met in the Super Bowl prior to this. So, in a game that I thought that if the Saints could have a good game, could keep it on, keep it clean, prevent the turnovers, interceptions. But unfortunately, the football gods were like, you know what, Breeze? This is your third straight home playoff loss. Sorry. And considering this might be his last game in the NFL because he was contemplating retiring, this one might sting. If I were Breeze, I'd probably be lighting a fire under my rear and saying, you know what, let's go one more year and ride this out, see what we can do. We know what we're capable of. We just obviously have had caving in the pressure, home games, whatever the case may be, as expectations. But I mean, between Sean Payton and Drew Brees, that was a crazy duo for a coach and player, in my opinion. Probably the second best, obviously, besides Brady and Belichick. But I mean, yeah, if you're Breeze, this is another one that got away from me, but it kind of sucks because I was kind of thinking it'd be kind of neat to have a Rodgers and Breeze NFC Championship game, but unfortunately, that will not be happening, and it might not happen again if Breeze does to retire. So to get off of Breeze and get on to Brady, I think this is going to be his 14th championship game. Obviously, it's his first time in the NFC side of things. So we'll see how he does heading into Green Bay. Now, if you have actually paid attention to any of my videos, I know I have only made one or two predictions prior to this, but back in week 6, I made a bold prediction saying that in the NFC Championship game, it would be the Tampa Bay Buccaneers versus the Green Bay Packers. Mind blown. If you haven't seen it, go to check out my previous channel. Like I said, it was like week 6 predictions, whatever the case may be. Is check it out. I'm almost 100% certain I predicted that, and now it's actually happening in real life. So this is going to be an epic finish to the 2020 NFL season when you have the Buccaneers, the Packers, Chiefs, and the Bills in your Final Four. This is going to be quite a ride. Anyways, as always, take care.